Now, in this portion of the technical demonstration, I've switched over to the server that's going to act in the role of a web node. I have opened up a Windows Explorer window, and I have remotely connected over to the management node where I have found the customized deployment. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create this web node. I'm going to start by copying this particular zip file, and we're just going to drop it into a folder called Centrify. Now from here, I can go ahead and extract it as I would with any other zip file in this folder. We're actually going to do this from PowerShell. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of Windows Explorer. Now from here, we're simply going to expand the archive. So we'll type in expand-archive Omicron HQ.zip. And now, as you can see, we now have a subfolder that's been created for Omicron HQ. Now you can see we have two subfolders, a new PowerShell script, and a customized Centrify platform zip file. This is what's going to create our identity platform. So now we're going to go ahead and deploy the web node. Now before we do that, let's take a look at the Centrify-pos-deploy PowerShell scripts, because there are some command line parameters that we should be aware of. So from here, we'll go ahead and do our directory listing once again. And let's go ahead and type in get help Centrify-pos-deploy.ps1. And as you can see here, we do have a number of command line parameters. Not as many as the new installation, but these command line parameters are very specific. As you remember from a previous video when we did the one-box implementation, we did use the one-box command line parameter. Since we're doing this in a more distributed fashion, we do need to use the command line parameters for each individual node that we're deploying. So since we're deploying the web node, we're going to use the web node command line parameter for this portion of the demonstration. So let's go ahead and do that. Centrify-pos-deploy web node, and we're going to give this an ID as well as we did for the new deployment. And since we are deploying a web node, we're just simply going to call this one web node 1. We'll go ahead and press enter. And now as you can see, it's writing the deployment log, it's extracting the archive file. Now this will take a couple of minutes as it goes through the process of installing the identity platform. And now as you can see, the web node has been deployed, but there's a couple of things you should also pay attention to. First, that the current deployment for Omicron HQ is not currently active. Now in the previous video where we implemented the one-box method, the one-box command line parameter automatically set this to active because it deployed all of the necessary nodes to the single system. In this particular instance, we will actually have to use a PowerShell script to set it to active, which you'll learn later in this technical demonstration. So at this point, we've satisfied the web node, and the next step will be to deploy the background node.